look into your eyes, it's like watching the night sky or a beautiful sunrise. There's so much they hold, and just like the old stars, I see that you've come so far to be right where you are. How bold is your soul? I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up, and when you're needing your space to do some navigating, I'll be here patiently waiting to see what you find. 'Cause even the stars, they burn. Some even come to the earth, and we've got a lot to learn, and God knows we're worth it. No, I won't give up. I don't want to be someone who walks away so easily. I'm here to stay and make the difference that I can make. Our differences, they do a lot to teach us how to use the tools and gifts we got. Yeah, we got a lot at stake. And in the end, you are my friend. And yes, we did intend for us to work. We didn't break, we didn't burn. We had to learn how to bend without our world caving in. I had to learn what I got and what I'm not and who I am. And I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up, still looking up. I won't give up on us. God knows I'm tough enough, and we've got a lot to learn, and God knows we're worth it. I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up.
Welcome. Take a moment to come into a comfortable position. Any position where your body feels supported and your attention is able to wander freely. Where your awareness of this moment can expand into the vastness of love's infinite ocean. How do the waves of love resonate in your heart? Is it a pulsing sensation? a radiating warmth. A gentle flow through the veins and the cells of your body. A blossoming bliss through the center of your being. How does love move within you? What is your favorite quality of the love you wish to cultivate in your life? Perhaps it's abundance, stability, safety, comfort, acceptance, passion, beauty, divinity. Whatever word comes to heart for you, take a few moments to be with that quality. Savor the feeling of this quality of unconditional love. Immerse yourself in it. Allow it to permeate every part of you. Let it fill you completely until you feel you can become this quality of love that calls to you. Uncover the knowing that you are one with the divinity of love. You are free in this love. Free in the arms of the beloved. Your love is a treasure to be honored and appreciated. Your devotion to love is divine. You are the gift of God's grace.
Hi, I'm Kanisha, and I will be doing today's card reading, and I will be pulling from the Power of Surrender cards. I have pre-shuffled, so let's get started. The first card is Surrender Your Fear of Change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. Yeah, one of the things that I've had to really embrace on this journey and in life is that change is inevitable. And I like to think of it like the weather. You could have a very sunny day, or in my case, here where I live, it was really warm and nice, and then I got cold for a day, and the following day it snowed. And so sometimes we just have abrupt changes that happen. But when we choose to really just surrender to the flow and release resistance and allow the change to happen within our life, then we can move through the transition much faster and in a place of peace. I find that when I resist change, that's when I have a lot of contrast and I feel like I'm struggling. But when I embrace it and I just know that change is always happening for my highest good and for my soul's growth, then I can just surrender to it and release resistance. And that allows me to be able to really just embrace the opportunity that's coming in and know that that change is happening for a reason, and that I can trust the process and really just have faith in God and His plan for me, because He knows what I need better than I do. So it's safe to surrender to change and know again that it is for your highest growth, your highest good, and that you're only going into deeper love. And it's safe to embrace the unknown because you don't know what's on the other side. If you're choosing love and you're choosing peace, only beautiful and great things are coming for you. So surrender your fear of change. Our next card is surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about a person or a situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help you bring clarity or even solve the problem. Yeah, so on this journey, especially when you are moving through upsets or blocks regarding your twin flame, you could obsessively think about what you could have done or what you could have done differently, and how you could have possibly changed the situation or the outcome, whatever it is. Whatever you're obsessively thinking about, you can just surrender that to the divine, to spirit, and know that you actually don't have to worry about anything. Your love life and your life in general is taken care of by the divine. You just make choices based on how you're feeling, and you really want to make sure that you base those choices off of a place that feel peaceful instead of coming from a place of fear. And so a lot of the times, from my experience, when I'm obsessively thinking, I will make choices out of a place of fear instead of moving from a place of love and peace. And so release the obsessive thinking, give it over, write it down, journal, meditate on it, move through whatever it is that you need to do to be able to release that and really focus your direction on a more positive and loving thoughts. And really, gratitude is a huge thing. Gratitude in anything and everything that you do is really going to help you shift your mindset from an obsessive negative thinking to a positive and receiving mindset. All right, the next card is surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the silence within. Silence can heal and replenish you. Absolutely. So really give yourself time to be able to meditate, take time to just sit in silence and really allow yourself to just fill up your cup and just replenish your body, mind, and soul with the love and attention and the nurturing that you need. And sometimes you don't ever really recognize what it is that you need until you're silent and sitting in that quiet meditation, and then you have those thoughts, or I like to call them epiphanies. A lot of the time when I get silence, I get epiphanies. Also, it's my way of knowing God's communicating to me in that moment. He's always talking to me when I silence myself and give him space to be able to communicate with me. I'm able to receive a lot during that time of quiet. So really encourage you to do that, and just to take time to just be still and go within and really give yourself what you need and put yourself as first priority and really love yourself unconditionally. That is how you're going to be able to serve others, is by loving yourself unconditionally, putting yourself as a priority, and moving from a place of love and peace. All right, enjoy the rest of the service.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Fabian and I am happy to introduce us to today's sermon by Carmel, titled The Foundation for a Heavenly Life. Now, we can expect a wonderful sermon today where we learn exactly how to build a foundation for our heavenly life and how to navigate through any challenges, how to conquer any challenges, so that we can build a true foundation for our heavenly life. Now, what exactly is a heavenly life, and what does it mean to have a true foundation? A heavenly life is a life that is wonderful and enjoyable and divine. Think about a tree that wants to grow really tall. It needs a real foundation. It needs strong roots to be able to do that. It wants to show its leaves, collect the sunlight, produce oxygen, collect nutrients and water through the soil, through the roots from the soil. And when it really has these strong roots, it can do exactly that. It can serve its function. And when a storm arises, the tree is safe and secure. How exactly does this translate to us humans? Well, it makes me think about, what is going on in our world today, on the planet. We are experiencing war where Putin's Russia is invading the Ukraine. And collectively we come together and we condemn it, we say no to it, we invite peace, we choose peace, and we are saying no to war together. And I want to take this as an opportunity to invite you right now to, if it feels good to you, to send some blessings, to send love, your presence to the Ukraine, to invite healing for the Ukraine and the complete resolution of war. And take this short moment to pray for peace in the Ukraine and in the world. The foundation for a heavenly life begins with this choice, with the choice to be at peace, to experience peace inside of ourselves despite war occurring on the outside. It is possible to remain at peace and to feel safe within despite what is happening at this moment in some places of the world. And us coming together, choosing the resolution of it, choosing healing, choosing peace is meaningful, and it is benefiting the situation. Now, in today's sermon, Carmel is going to take us much deeper into this subject, and she's going to share her own real-life experience when it comes to the foundation of her heavenly life. She's going to share what it means, what it meant for her, and how she moved through different living situations to manifest her perfect living space for where she is right now. And she's also inviting us into a question at the end, answering this question for ourselves, and she's sharing valuable suggestions so that we can have this true foundation ourselves. A true foundation is rooted in God, because God is eternal, and that means that you have an unshakable foundation which is safe in the world no matter what happens. And it all begins within. And then from that peace within, when a storm arises, we can remain peaceful still. Now please enjoy today's sermon by Carmel and sit back, relax, and receive the message. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Carmel. Welcome to this week's Sunday service. I will be your minister of union for today. Let's begin with our 3 opening alms, followed by our opening prayer. You may follow aloud or within. I am the only child of God, forever part of Him. I am created by Him in perfection, and there I always remain. My mind is my sanctuary, where I keep His holy creation sacred. I will only allow in His voice. I will only accept His word. Today I will hear the word of God. I surrender myself to His teachings through His divine channel. I will honor what He has spoken and accept it as His will. I will be obedient to His word, for this is my salvation. In Christ's name, Amen. Today I wanted to speak to you about mastering the basics of life so that you can increase joy in your life and create a heavenly life for yourself. So some of the things that we'll be discussing today are: what are some basics in life? What might be in the way of you mastering basics in your life? And what happens when you clear the way to mastering the basics? So what do I mean by the basics of life? So what I'm meaning is what we require as humans to come to a place of steady peace and balance in our lives so that we can grow into our lives of joy. And from my experience, to come to a place of mastering the basics, really you first have to feel safe in your relationship with life. And so when you connect with life and when you feel into it, it asks for us to provide ourselves basic things such as good health, so good nutrition, good nourishment, sleep, self-care, good spiritual hygiene. It asks us to provide security, a safe environment with financial security, good relationships with healthy connections, and joy, finding your purpose and your meaning. And to ground these very basic things, you need to feel safe in your relationship with life, because it's life itself that provides us these basic juicy things. So how do we come to feeling safe in life? So the first step for being able to feel safe in life is uprooting fear. And by uprooting fear, you start to cultivate an inner peace, which leads to feeling safe. And you can start to engage in life consistently so that you can love life and that life can love you back. And with this mastered, you can even begin to create systems in your life that are self-functioning and give joy back to you multiplied. So I wanted to share with you, to expand upon this, my personal experience on this topic. And so I had come to finding a core block within myself to feeling safe in life, which was revealed to me through my volunteer position for the Church of Union. So I was continuously pulling myself down and being like unwilling to move through fear. And when I pulled apart my behavior and got clear on what was happening, I recognized that every couple of few seconds in my life, I was actually shutting down on life. And I don't believe I'm exaggerating. I was actually shutting down like every few seconds. And this shutting down pattern and the position I held couldn't coincide, because the position that I had asked of me like ever-present understanding and ever-present relating to the position and the relationship. Like it was something that you had to be, you have to always be at the core of the understanding of the relationship. So you had to always be present with it and relating to it, and in good understanding of it. And it needs to always feel safe and secure. And so life itself is ever present, and it asks of us, it asks of you, it asks of me ever presence. And maintaining presence is a basic principle of life. Where there is fear, you shut down. But when you uproot fear, you can feel safe in relating to life ever presently, and you can actually maintain your life. So once I got to the core awareness of the pattern and made new choices to love myself and relate to life presently and consistently and openly, and I gave myself all the safety I needed, I felt my cup fill up again. I found it a lot easier to be in joy, to relate, and I was also able to start to implement systems in my life which gave back to me, such as consistently, implementing systems related to my finances, related to my food, related to my purpose work, related to my home maintenance, my self-care, and my personal maintenance, and my spiritual well-being. And you can really feel the shift of energy when you feel safe in relating to life and ever giving to yourself. You can really feel how supportive that is, and how that creates a nice like bosom for joy to flow into your life. So the second thing I wanted to talk about here, to expand upon this topic, was that you can always rebuild trust with yourself, no matter where you are in life. You can always build your way out of separation consciousness, out of ego consciousness, out of hell, into heaven. And where this ties into the topic today is in uprooting fear to create, a heavenly life for yourself. And so this has really been my ascension journey so far. A majority of Earth consciousness is in a place where they've separated their minds from God. That's the illusion, and they're living on their own terms. And those terms, God's not being included. But the truth is that you can never truly forget God. You can never truly forget God's love for you. You can never truly forget your desire to be in perfect union with Him. And so when you're ready to step out of hell into heaven, you have everything that you need right here, provided by Jeff and Shaleia, and these teachings of unionism. And I know this to be true because it's working for me, and it's worked for everyone who has sincerely applied themselves to this work. And it's simply a process of uprooting fear. So I wanted to expand a little bit further on my life story of how uprooting fear, I was able to partner with God to leave a very unstable and an environment that made me feel safe and shut down all the time, and to create a safe environment for myself where I can begin to open my heart to life and relate to it and give to it consistently and wholesomely. So when I first decided to leave like deep separation consciousness, I had left the home that I was born into. So when I found these teachings, I went to my parents and I was like, hey, can you support me with this beautiful thing that I've found? And they said no. And I said, okay, it doesn't matter because I can do this with God. And so the first step to that was I moved out of home and I moved into a low housing commission unit with my grandfather. And what I had was like an old mattress and a old pillow and no bed. And my grandfather, he didn't really have an opinion about things. So, God was like, this is an upgrade. And what I did receive was I received freedom. I received the feeling of I get to chase my dreams. I get to live on my own terms, and those terms are my desire for God. And that was really enough unto itself, and that was extremely satisfying. But what I really want to show you is just the vibrational journey I've taken by uprooting fear and applying this process to my life. So since first moving into that low commission housing unit with my grandfather, I have been in 6 different units since then, and now I'm in the one I'm in today. And they were all upgrades from uprooting fear from my consciousness. And when I hit the ceiling of that unit vibration, God provided me the next level, living situation. And why I've manifested this experience, 6 units is a lot, is actually because my desire of safety and security in my life, that I may, expand my dream life with God, is very passionate and very strong. And so I've called that safety and security in very deeply because I really care about being able to live my purpose with God. And so, I want to share a bit about the vibration of this unit, and you can see the difference in vibration. So this unit is it's fairly quiet. There's very long periods of quietness and deep peace, and it's in a wealthy area. Like, you would look around and consider this to be people who have a very good relationship with wealth. And the unit is attached to a home, and the home backs onto a nice big water canal, and people have nice boats of all different levels, big ones and small ones. And I have my safe space where I can go deeper into my spiritual work, deeper into my healing, deeper into my self clarity, and deeper into my purpose work. And these people that I'm living with, they kind of just keep to their own business, respect everyone's space, and it's nice in that way. And I know that I will expand beyond this, but this is just another stepping stone. But I can really see the vibrational upgrades that are taking place from working this process. And another thing is that this home has deep meaning and deep purpose, because I've given it that. It really stands behind me and provides for my growth and expansion. And you can call that in too by claiming your purpose work. God will provide for you. So how did I get here? It really was, well, it was this spiritual community that the Church of Union holds. It was the teachings, it was following the teachings and, chipping away at my resistance to the teachings. And it was support from my gurus, Jeff and Shaleia, and it was definitely a lot of support from Ascension coaching and my Ascension coaches. Can't stress enough how important it is to have an Ascension coach behind you to keep you on track, keep you on path, help you through places where you are unclear. Because there's been many times where I've just been about to dump a whole lot of energy into something that wasn't actually supportive for me, which I thought was, and my Ascension coach just been like, yeah, that feels bad, let's bring it back to peace, let's bring it back to God. And then I'm able to propel forward deeper into my dreams. And so now as I'm wrapping this up, I feel like beforehand a lot of my life was spent focusing on protecting myself from people who wanted to constantly pull me down. And now I've created a space for myself with God where I can lay out my life and look at the different pieces of it and start to make decisions where I can build my dream life. And I'm still in the process of clearing out all the energy, but you can see a lot of the new energy is going in that direction. So I wanted to share, probably the challenges that I've had on this path, and some advice. So the first one is rooting out fear at the core. So when you're proceeding on your ascension journey and you're rooting out fear, it's really important that you root the block out at the core. So this journey is designed to increase joy in your life, to increase success in your life. So you can focus on your success, focus on your dreams. And when you come to a block, you'll things will start to clog up, things will be unclear. And you work through that right to the core, and then you're able to proceed forth. And that makes your journey a lot more compassionate and fluid, and you're able to trust in yourself and the teachings. The teachings are trustworthy, and that's something that I'm learning from my ascension coaches as well. It's how to approach your awareness on the journey. So rooting your upsets out of the core is really important, and also allow yourself to focus on the success. The second challenge I've had personally is trusting the process and not getting down on myself. So when you're coming from a vibration that isn't compassionate and it's not very supportive of your ascension journey, and you're building your way out of that, there's going to be some heavy things that you're releasing from your consciousness. And so it's when those heavy things are leaving you, you're not failing, you're not the world's not ending, the rug's not being pulled out from underneath you. You're God's providing for what you've called in. And so trust the process. Don't give energy to fear and get down on yourself. Just be very loving and compassionate with yourself and love yourself unconditionally through that. And the third challenge and lesson I've really learned on this path was boundaries. So it's okay if you're not really sure how to have healthy relationships or boundaries. This work will teach you that. As you learn to love yourself with the mirror exercise, you'll know what love feels like. You'll know what being loved feels like. And so when not love presents itself and you feel your love draining, you'll know that's where you are to put a boundary. And it's really important to implement those boundaries as a means of self-respect, of self-worth, and also protecting your energy and protecting your spiritual energy so that you can transcend old relationships, old situations, and grow into your divine life. And so some final things to close out, some suggestions and next steps for you. An activity you can do, and this can be a gentle reflection, is self-reflect and be honest with yourself. And you don't have to make any rash decisions. This is purely for awareness reasons, and it's not an invitation to feel bad. But just ask yourself, does my current relationships and environment support my ascension journey? Does it support my divine self? And with that awareness, use that awareness to, support your decision making in your life, and making decisions towards love. And then the second suggestion I have is go to twinflamesuniverse.com and claim your perfect matched ascension coach, because as I said, I couldn't have done it without my ascension coach, and the support it's essential. And it's really important to have that support behind you to make it an easier journey for you. And then the final suggestion I have is respecting yourself, knowing your worth. You have to respect yourself to accept your dream life. And you have to know your worth, to know where to say no, and to know where to set boundaries, and to know what you are deserving of, and let go of anyone or ego that tells you otherwise or tries to pull you down. And God has a special, unique way for you at your perfect pace that you can take it a step at a time. And He has a compassionate way for you. And one thing I learned was, don't worry about failure, because I've healed, a block recently with failure. And I was very anxious that if I made a mistake, the rug would be pulled out from underneath me. My life would end. And so I looked back on my life at all the places that I'd perceived to make big mistakes. And then I realized, am I still alive? Am I still aware? Am I still here? Am I still loved? Is life still behind me? Yes. So don't be worried about failure. Let it be easy and take that first step, because it's much easier than you think. So closing out this sermon with a quote from Jeff and Shaleia from Twin Flames and US series, A Day in the Life, as a YouTube video on their YouTube channel. And this is a video of Jeff and Shaleia demonstrating what a life in heaven lived looks like, and the juiciness and the peace, the result of having uprooted fear from your consciousness at the core. So I think this is the perfect quote to close out this sermon. It has some length to it, but here it is. It is safe to move into the new earth in your consciousness now, and that it's worth it. It only grows the new earth. And the only way to grow a new earth is by allowing this work into your consciousness, this work of union, this work of peace. And in doing so, you get to relax into, bit by bit, the perfect life. And you will allow peace to settle into your heart. And once you do that, once you give it a home, it will begin to expand itself through every aspect of your life. And there is nothing to stop it, because the only thing to oppose it is fear. But fear can produce no real meaningful barriers to it. And so peace will continue to multiply and expand in your life without fail, without impediment, without stopping ceaselessly, day in and day out, night after night, day after day, forever. And it will continue to compound and expand in momentum. And that momentum will continue to compound upon itself until you have achieved your perfect life, until you've achieved your perfect union and beyond, until you have achieved your perfect ascension. So let's close out with our closing prayer and our closing hymns. You may follow aloud or within. Father, I accept your word into my heart. I will honor your will in my life and will follow you without hesitation anywhere you ask. I know you guide me into your heart where I belong. I accept that you are everywhere and your teaching is in all things. God, I know you provide me clarity in this teaching of union, that I may forever be in union with you. I accept that you are in me as you are in my brother. I will not deny my brother your word, and will share your teaching with him in any way you ask, and only as you ask. When I share my salvation with him, I fully claim my salvation and return to you with him. In Christ's name, Amen. Speaking this prayer in your heart means you have accepted that you are on the path of awakening to your true divine nature. This is what it means to be a unionist. Follow the teachings of union with God wherever you find them and purify your consciousness into perfect union with your Creator. Thank you for listening. Namaste.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much, Carmel, and thank you so much, dear viewer or listener, for joining us today. What I really take away from today's sermon is to pay attention to my foundation. Understand that it is a real thing in my life and that I can actively nurture it. And there's a process for me that I can follow to nurture it. And this has real and significant results in my life. Uprooting fear, working through the process, being present, and then I am experiencing a deeper peace in my foundation. And this translates to more and more improvement in my reality. And I really enjoyed the questions and suggestions at the end, and Carmel really helped us to go deeper with our foundation for a heavenly life. Now, please subscribe and like to our Church of Union YouTube channel, and visit unionism.org to watch all of our past sermons, listen to our music, watch our card readings, and there you can also tithe and donate to contribute to the Church of Union's message to the world. And please join us for our after-church tea time in our Unionism spiritual discussion group on Facebook, where we are discussing today's message with wonderful panelists. Thank you again for tuning in. Namaste.